everyone, Papa Red. It's been a little while since I put up a video. I apologize for that. It's probably going on almost 3 weeks now by the time this gets posted, if everything goes according to plan. Anyway, we're going to get back to some bait making. Been doing quite a bit of fishing. I've had some time off of work here lately, burning up some vacation time. But we're going to work on a walker style bait that one of my followers on Instagram had asked me about. It's Fat Daddy Baits. So those of you that are on Instagram, you may be familiar with him. He does some very quality plastic lure manufacturing and sales. He sent me some lures in exchange for some handmade stuff. Sent him one of the Papa Rats and one of the antique bluegills. Anyway, he sent me a blank that he has, and this is, if you're not familiar with it, I wasn't. This is a Vixen style bait. They make another version of it now, but the original Vixen, from what I can gather in my research, kind of went away. They had some issues, I guess, with water getting into this back tail section. But this is a walker style bait. I threw some hooks on it, took it out in the boat the other day, and I'd never used one before. What this thing will do is it'll sit in the water like this when you're not moving, but then when you jerk it, it pulls it flat and shoots it off to the side. And this thing, this 5-inch bait, will walk probably 12 inches in each direction. So you can work it slow, you can work it fast, make some racket. It's got some rattles in there. We might try and put some glass rattle chambers in our wood version of this. But he wants me to upsize this. This is a 5-inch bait, like I said. He wants a 6. So I went ahead and I've sketched it out. We're going to start getting this cut out. But anyway, hopefully you're going to tag along here, along with me on the ride, and we're going to try and reproduce this Vixen style bait for Fat Daddy Baits. And at the end, we're going to paint this one up for him in a bluegill pattern, and we'll paint up the other one and take these things out, do a little fishing with them, see if we can't get some good action out of our version of it. I know we'll get good action out of this one, but that's not the whole point of this video now, is it? So anyway, let's get started on this and hopefully tag along. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Check me out on Instagram, Papa Red Fishing. And if you like this content, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment or two, tell me what you like, what you don't like. But enough talk, let's get started. Vixen style walker, let's get going. Okay, so this is what I have sketched out already. You can see it's pretty much the same as the blank that we've got to work off of. You can see I've got the weight. So we're going to have to work on figuring out how we're going to get this weight back here without compromising the integrity of the wood. We're definitely using a through wire on this. I just marked the hook locations and the line tie. But we're going to get this cut out, get it on some wood, get it cut out, and get our rough shape, start some carving. So here we go. Alright, so I got this cut out. I was just over looking at the wood pile to see what I was going to use. But this thing's round, and I've got a dowel. I usually don't do this. I like to shape all my stuff, but I mean, looking at this blank, I mean, it's perfectly round. A little bit of shaping on the shoulders, but minor. So this is going to save me a lot of time. It's in the wood that I want to use. I want a nice light wood, so it's going to float. So we're going to take this and we're going to get this thing shaped up on the sander. Okay, there's our mouth. Just the rough carving. We'll smooth it out. Come on, focus. Focus. Alright, there we go. We're going to smooth that out with some sandpaper. We'll start working on getting our eyes located, carve some gills in there. Alright, so we got the rough detail carved in for the gills. We got the eyes located, mouth's carved out. Time to do some sanding. Hey guys, it's the next morning. We finished doing the detail work on the gills last night. Still need to drill the eye holes, but I want to work on getting this this slot cut for the through wire. So we're going to get that marked up and hopefully cut a straight line. That'd be nice. Alright, so that's our finished through wire slot. Turned out pretty good. I have to probably do a little bit of adjustment up here because we want this eye for the line tie to be right up at the top. So we'll mess around with that once we start bending this wire. You can see, got that straightened out pretty close. We'll open that up just a little bit more to get that perfectly centered. But we're going to start working on getting our lead holes drilled in the back here. I don't think I'm going to go quite as far back as these are. I think I might try and keep it up here where it's a little thicker. I want to maintain the integrity of this. I still want to get the weight in the back so it's going to walk like it's supposed to. So let's get some holes drilled in here and start bending our through wire. Alright, so I drilled some lead holes. I don't know if you can see or not, but I went a little shallower with this one, then a little deeper as I started working my way forward, so we can try and fill this cavity, but I still want to have a decent amount of wood back here to hold the bait together if we get a good strike on the back hook. So we're going to be able to fill all three of these, and then as we tune this, if we need to drill some lead out, we can. So I'm going to open this up, smooth these out a little bit, and start working on this through wire. Alright, we got the through wire all bent up and it's in place. You can see we did a twist back here, and that's all up inside the bait. We'll pour our lead around that, so that's definitely not going to go anywhere. We got our hook hangers, but we're going to super glue this in place real quick so it doesn't move around on us, and then we'll start getting it filled in. Alright everyone, it's got a little bit of a confession to make. It's about 5 days later. This is still exactly the way I just showed you. I got thinking about it, and I ended up making a mold. I really wanted to be able to recreate this, so as you can see, we've got the through wire slot, we've got the weight holes, everything is all included in this mold, and this is what we've got. So you can see this took quite a bit of work, but this is just the rough right out of the mold, so you can see all the flashing is still on it. As you can see, we've got some real good detail. I'm going to sand all this off smooth, but we've got the through wire line slot already in there, got the holes for the lead. Just to cut this tail off of here and start shaping this thing, but can make as many of these as we want now. But this one, this is the 6-inch. This is going to be going to Fat Daddy Baits, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to get this cut off and start working on getting this thing all polished up and ready to go. And got the through wire all bent up and everything, so we're going to get going on this thing, get it finished up, sealed up, get some paint on it, and get it wet, test it. So let's get going. Let's start shaping, sanding, and get this thing finished up. Alright, it's all sanded up. Cleaned up the eye holes a little bit. And we're going to fit our through wire in there, make sure everything fits. Glue it in there, and we'll start adding some lead. Weigh this thing out. So today is the day after Father's Day, and check it out. Papa Red is moving up in the world. Thank you very much, Mama Bear. And yeah, I gotta let it melt. Didn't plug it in. We're gonna get some lead poured in this thing. I did open up the holes a little bit from the mold because I had to cut a little bit of the silicone away so that the resin would pour well down in the mold. So I'm hoping that these holes are going to be enough lead to get this butt to sit down in the water. It's an awful lot of resin that's going to float, so we'll try it. Worst that happens is we got to re-drill it and put some more in there. This is still experimental with this resin copy. Alright, so note to self, I probably don't have to make the lead holes deeper. So we had filled this whole chamber up, and you can see I had to take out quite a bit of lead. It had to actually go around the through wire. But we got this balanced just right. I put all the hooks on there, dropped it in the water, and it sits about a 45-degree angle, which is right what we want. So we'll get this sealed up the rest of the way, get this thing sealed up and finish sanded, and we should be ready to start painting this thing. Okay, so while I had the camera off, I went ahead and painted the white base coat. But this is our 6-inch Vixen bait. We're going to do a bluegill pattern that was sent to me by Fat Daddy. He wants his favorite pattern on here. So we're going to go ahead and get started on the layers. Alright, we're going to start with a light base coat of silver. Very light. And we're going to leave the belly white. And just so you guys can see what we're kind of going for, this is the pattern. So we got, it's bluegill pattern, but we got a lot of yellows, oranges, coppers, and the blue and the black. So let's get this yellow base coat poured on there. Alright, so we got the yellow on there. We're going to do the orange on the belly along with the orange on the back, but we need to do the blue first. In order to make that blue stay blue, I need to put a little bit of white over the yellow, otherwise it's going to turn green on me. So we're going to shoot a little bit of white on the nose, and then we'll do the blue. So it'll be a nice little transition from the blue to the green though. Alright, so we've got the lure with the blue and the base yellow and the silver on. Now we're going to work on getting these lines in so we can go over that with the transparent copper. So I've got my stencil all made up. I'm going to end up having to do this twice, but we'll do 2 sets and we'll get these lines put in. That way we can know exactly where to put that copper. so we got our transparent black with all of our marking lines on there, and then now we're going to come back in with this thin copper, and we're going to go over that with for the scales, and then we'll come in after we take the mesh off, and we'll hit these dark lines every other area and get that fill in darker. So here we go. Let's put this copper on. You can see those copper scales turned out real nice. So now we'll go in and we'll fill in the darker areas. Alright, looking good. We're going to take now and put a little bit of some transparent sunrise yellow, which is more of an orange, across the bottom of the belly here. And then we're going to touch up the transparent black on the back and put a little bit around the eye, and it should wrap this thing up. So as you guys can see, I was painting the clear blank at the same time as I was doing the 6-inch. So we've got the two baits, 5-inch and the 6-inch Vixen style baits on the rotisserie. Alright, off the rotisserie, cleaned up. There's our two baits. 6-inch and the 5-inch. So this was the clear plastic blank, and this is the Papa Red 6-inch. Not too bad. We'll throw some hooks on this and take it out, water test it. Hopefully get a little bit of footage. Not sure how much we'll be able to spend trying to catch a fish with it, but we will see what we can do. Alright, well, here we are. We're out at my area club. I can see some fish down in the water here already. It looks like there's a catfish down there, some bluegill. But anyway, here we are. We've got the 6-inch Vixen. We're going to try in this spot. Don't know how much we're going to be able to fish in here because there's quite a few weeds that have made their way to the surface. With these open hooks, it's going to get snagged up, but we'll see if we can work. Let's get some action here first. You see there's, oh yeah, look at that. Walking side to side. Let's throw this thing out here. It floats to the surface. Got a nice little side-to-side walk, just like it's supposed to. A little pop every time it makes its move. It's a pretty heavy bait. It's resin and it's 6 inches. Should have a heavier rod than what I do. But hopefully you guys can see that action. Pull it through these weeds. Yeah, gets hung up. We're gonna have to go find another spot. Something hopefully a little shallower, maybe a little sandbar. But anyway, it's looking good. It's getting the action we want. Nice big bait like this should get some pretty big fish eventually here. Alright, let's go try some other spots. Alright, well this is a little more what I'm looking for this type of bait. See, we got a line of seaweed right there. That's a short sandbar. Can run this all on there. It gets shallow right in there. All these small islands get shallow. So I can run along in here, see if I can't get something with this. There we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, Bubba, get in here. Get in here. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Check that out, guys. Nice and chunky. Let's see if I can get my thumb in here without taking a hook. Got me a little bit. It's all right. We got him. All right. There we go. Check that out. Nice little pound and a halfer on the 6-inch Fat Daddy Special Vixen. Nice fish. Well, he smoked that thing. Let's get him back. Thanks, buddy. Here he goes. Look how clear that water is. That's exciting. All right, well, we just let that fish go, and you can see the lure took a nice little chunk there. So I am not gonna fish with this anymore, since this is going out to a friend of mine, like I said. We're gonna put another coat of clear over the top of that just to seal that up again, but that's gonna be a certificate of authenticity for you there, Fat Daddy. So we're gonna head back. We're gonna call that a success, and good day of testing for sure. But I will see you guys back in the bait shop. All right, well, here we are. We're back in the bait shop. Just got back from the lake, had a successful test of the 6-inch Vixen surface walker. It's got a little bit of a popping action too. Nice little surprise, but this was a good bait. This was fun to build. When the top water bite really hits hard, you know, you catch that right time of the day, I think you're going to have a hard time keeping the fish off of this thing. You know, we had a little bit of a hard time middle of the day today getting something to bite. We just had to wait for something of decent size to really want it, and it really hit it. It hit it hard. So I really enjoyed this build. I'm going to be doing some more with this in the future. I've got a mold made up of them, so I'm going to be making some more of these in the future. But anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Fat Daddy Baits, thanks for the idea on this. I'm looking forward to delivering this to you, meeting you in person. We've done some collaboration in the past here, swapping baits. If you don't follow Fat Daddy Baits on Instagram or online, you should. He's got some great plastics. Really great guy, great customer service, good products. I can't argue with results. They're actually fantastic. Some of the best luck I've had with plastics are with his stuff. So anyway, enjoyed doing this. I appreciate you guys tagging along. If you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to subscribe to my channel. We're going to have plenty more lure building and fishing videos coming out in the future. Lots of stuff in the store, going on and behind me here on the bench. We should have some pretty good content coming out. But anyway, hit the like button, subscribe, and hit me up on Instagram. If everybody's interested, anybody has any bait ideas, please feel free to drop a line, and we'll see what we can do. So anyway, thanks again, everyone. We will see you next time. Papa Red out.